Hey, Boaz here from Next Pittsburgh. We're in Frick Park meeting some temporary residents of the park. They're goats, and to find out what they're doing here, we're talking to the folks from Allegheny Goatscape. If I can get past this goat to talk to them, we've got Gavin, the executive director, and Aaron, who's in charge of community engagement. I think I got that right.
I think you did, yeah.
Well, so you are in charge of this nonprofit, Allegheny Goatscape, and I'm sure a lot of people have seen the goats around town. So, what are they doing here?
So they are here in Frick Park to eat up unwanted vegetation that's been kind of taken over a small portion here in what is called Clayton Hill. The Parks Conservancy has a mandate to restore the space with native vegetation and improve the bird habitat here. And so the goats do a really good job of eating up the vegetation, and then the Parks Conservancy will come in and plant appropriate vegetation to improve the habitat.
And obviously, the goats aren't the only ones here. There's a donkey here also. I guess, do you want to tell me about your buddy?
Yeah, this is Diamond. She's a very sweet girl. So she is here to act as the protector for the herd. Donkeys have an innate dislike of canines. So should anything jump in, like a off-leash dog or in some of our spots, coyotes, she would be able to kind of round up the herd and corner the canine and attack if she needed to. So yeah.
Have you ever seen a donkey attack?
I have not, because it usually doesn't happen. Usually everyone seems to respect the fence. So I haven't, and she's really sweet. So yeah, but she'd probably, if she needed to, keep the herd safe. Yeah.
I guess presumably, if a coyote's on the other side, the donkey comes up. That's probably ready enough to let the coyote know it should be backing away.
I would assume so. Yes, I've never seen it, but yeah, the donkey is definitely bigger than the coyote, so I think they'd back away.
So one great thing, actually many great things about goats is that, of course, they're naturally prone to just eat up the vegetation. But when they go to the bathroom, they have four stomachs, and so what they're digesting really gets digested. So what comes out can actually be used as compost immediately. You could put it right on your garden. So it's actually really great that they're actually fortifying the soil as they go, as opposed to, say, an herbicide, which is killing so many things. And so that's one reason why we love to use our goats as an alternative to heavy machinery or chemicals.
And I guess they can also this is sort of difficult terrain. There are trees everywhere. They're fallen logs, which would make it probably difficult for a human or machinery to get in there.
That's absolutely right. Yeah, I think they're ideal for Pittsburgh. So many of the hillsides in Pittsburgh, even if they're backyards, people just can't take care of them very well. But goats, on the other hand, are very adept at going up and down the hillsides of Pittsburgh.
And so when you have to move them to a new location, how do you do that?
We leash them just like we would a dog, and because they're herd animals, they want to stick together, so often we'll just walk a few of them and everybody else follows along. We have a 16-foot stock trailer and everybody files in, and then we drive them to the next place and they all hop out and get ready to get eating right away. People are usually surprised by how quickly they get to eating at a new spot, but I think it's because they're just hungry from the ride.
And all these goats have different personalities?
100%. Yes. Yeah, it's been really fun to get to know all the different herds and their personalities, and I think that's one of the reasons, like so I manage our volunteers, and some of our volunteers stick with the herd because they fall in love with the personality of certain goats in that herd and they follow them all around. So it's really great.
Can you point out any troublemakers? Or, well, one just just nipped Annie over there, is trying to eat her shorts.
Sure. We love Lucky Lou. She's a sweet girl, but she definitely likes to nibble things. But this herd is I feel like, our most docile, although a couple of them have been headbutting this whole time. So.
And some of these goats, Lucky Lou specifically over there, who's still trying to eat Annie, it looks like she doesn't have ears.
Yeah, so that's actually their breed. It's called Mancha. They just have very short ears called gopher ears. They are the only American-bred goat. So yeah, they just have little ears.
We do also have, in addition to the La Manchas, we have a lot of Alpines and Nubians, and those are larger, generally a dairy goat. And then we do have some Nigerian dwarfs as well, which are smaller goats. But yeah, it's fun to have kind of a diverse breed mix, keeps things lively, and the goats do get along fairly well. And most of our goats at this point have come from dairies, typically Goat Rodeo, as a second career essentially. So if they aren't producing as much, they come to us and get to enjoy just eating up a endless amount of vegetation.
Wow, that's like wild. So this is sort of like a retirement home for goats, sort of.
In a way, most of the goats are pretty young, and goats can live. We know of goats living up to 20 years, but a lot of our goats are anywhere between 2 years old, and some of the older ones are getting up there, maybe 13 or so. So they're getting pretty old. But
Have any of your goats coupled up and created, baby goats?
No. So all of our goats, we can't deal with babies. Babies are too much for what we do. So all of our male goats are called wethers. So we can't have any kiddos here.
Spay and neuter your goats, folks. And what is goat browsing season in the parks?
So this year we started, and it's usually about the same, at the end of April, beginning of May, and it goes all throughout end of October, beginning of November. As long as there's green stuff to eat, they're out eating it.
And then where are they the rest of the year?
we have them, thanks to the city of Pittsburgh, we're able to keep them in a spot on city-owned property in the north side. They get fed hay and grains to keep them healthy, and of course open water at all times.
And you're talking about volunteers. Like, is there a way if people want to get involved and, help out these goats get a little closer, can they?
Yeah, so I run our volunteers. So if you want, there's two ways you could really do it. If you go to our website, there's like an online form you can fill out, and then we'll get an email, or you can email me directly. It's Erin@AlleghenyGoatscape.org. And yeah, then you get to hang out with goats. It's great. I actually started out as a volunteer and then got hired on, so it's been really great.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, I know it's a tough question, but do you have a favorite goat?
I didn't want to, but I kind of do. It's actually not in this herd. His name is Peanut. He's on Team Sunshine, and I don't know, just when we met, we kind of bonded, and so, yeah, but I do love them all, but maybe Peanut has a slight edge on everyone.
Gavin, any favorite goats?
Oh, I really like this goat, Angel Face. He's part of Team Hobo and one of the original herd that came to me. And I don't know, he's just always been a very friendly goat. He seems to kind of hang out with the goats that seem to be a little downtrodden as well. I mean, who knows? I'm probably placing too much on him for that, but he's just a very friendly, big, kind of easygoing goat.
Well, thank you so much for letting me pet this donkey for 10 minutes. It's been really soothing for me personally, and for teaching us about what you do. And yeah, I always love seeing the goats around town, so thanks for telling us what's happening.
Yeah, thanks for coming by.